What is loop in Python? In order to do a repetitive task or run or execute certain code statements for n number of times, we use loop. So loops are of two types in Python. First is for loop, second is while loop. So let's learn about the loop by some examples. Let's say I want to print numbers from 1 to 3. So how will I print? I will use print statement, then print 1, print 2, and print 3. Let's execute this program. So here we can see the output is 1, 2, 3. Let's say now I want to print till 5. So what I will do? I will add two more statements. One is for 4, another is for 5. Let's run this program. So here it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if I want to print 100, 1 to 100? So I need to write 95 lines more in this code. And then what if I want to print it to 1000? So thousands of print statements I need to write. So that is not a good programming. So what we will do, we will use loops. So first we will learn about for loops. So the syntax of for loop is for keyword, then a variable name, let's say I, then in operator, and then the iterable. So here we will use range function. So if I use range function, let's say I want to print from 1 to 10, I will use 10, but range function starts from 0. So this range will return a list of 0 to 9. So let's first print that and then we will go with 1 to 10. So here in this loop, so this loop is ended by colon and then we have to do indentation of 4 spaces and then we can write print statement. So all the statements which are indented to this level, so those will come under for loop. So here we will be having only a single statement for now. Let's run this program. So here we can see it prints from 0 to 9 because we have given the value 10. So if I want to print from 1 to 10, then what I need to do? So by default range function starts with 0. So if I want to start with 1, then I need to write 1 comma. So I can show you the definition here. So either it takes stop and it starts with 0 by default, so that we have checked already. Another is we can provide start, stop, and then step number. So by default step number is 1, that is it increments by 1 value. So here I have added start as 1 and then stop as, I need to add it as 11. Why? Because it executes till n minus 1. So stop minus 1. Now let's run this program. So now we can see it starts with 1 and ends with n minus 1, that is 11 minus 1, 10. What if I want to print, let's say 1, then 3, then 5, 6, then 9. So what I can do, I can use step value as 2. So by default it is 1, but now we have used 2. So let's check how it will print. You can see, so it starts with 1, then it skips 2 values. So 2 is skipped, then it prints 3, then it skips 4, then it skips prints 5, then it skips 6, and so on. So this is the for loop, and this is about the range function as well. Now let's use the while loop. So how we can use the while loop? It will be similar to for. We have to use while keyword and we need to initialize the value for the variable with the initial value, let's say 1. And then we need to write a terminating condition. So up to when I need to print, let's say while I is less than or equals to 10, what I need to do? I need to print I. And after printing the I need to increment its value by 1. So I equals to I plus 1. Okay. How this function, how this code will work? So first we are initializing a variable I with value 1. Then we have started the loop. So it will check if 1 is less than equals to 10, this condition is true. Basically, this loop will execute till this condition is true. So for 1, it is true. 1 is less than 10. So it will print 1. Then I will become 1 plus 1, that is 2. Then again, it will go here and then 2 will be checked. 2 is less than 10. Yes. So this condition is again true. It will print 2. Then I will become 2 plus 1, 3. And then it will move uh, so on. And when the value becomes 10, so 10 is less than 10, no. Then 10 is equals to 10, yes. Again, this condition is true. It will print 10. Then I will be 10 plus 1, 11. Then it will go again here. Then 11 is less than 10. Condition is false. Then it will check 11 is equals to 10. Then again condition is false. Now this while condition is false. Therefore, it will move out of the loop and it will print end. So let's print end here. And now let's run this program. So here we can see it prints 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. And when I becomes 11, this condition becomes false and it moves out of the loop. And when it moves out of the loop, the control comes to line number 5 and then it prints end. So this is about the while loop. Now let's check about break and continue keywords. So these are used in the loops, either for or while. They are used in both the loops. So let's check about the break condition. Break condition is used to break the loop at a particular condition. So let's say I'm using for loop with variable I for I in range. Let's say I am printing value 0 to 6. So by default it starts with 6. We can write range 6. So this will print 0 to 5. So let's say range 7. And I want to break this loop if value of I becomes, let's say, 4. Then I will break. Otherwise, I will print the value of I. And after that, I will print end. So now first let's understand this program. So here I am running a loop with variable I. So this loop will run from value 0 to 6. 7 minus 1, 6. So 0 to 6 it will run. And then it will check if I equals 4. So whenever the I becomes 4, it will break the loop and control gets out of the loop. So it will move to line number 6. And if I is not equals to 4, till then it will just print I. So here you can see the indentation. This indentation is for the for loop. And so basically these three statements are under for loop and this break statement is under if condition. So let's run this program. So first the value is 0. So if 0 equals 4, this condition is false. So it will print 0. So 0 is printed. After that control will go to line number 2. Now I will become 1. If 1 is equals 4, no. So it will print 1. Then it becomes 2. 2 equals 4, no. It will print 2 and control goes to line number 2. Then it becomes 3. Again this condition is false, it will print 3 and I will become now 4. Now 4 equals 4, yes. So this condition is true and break statement will get executed, which will move the control out of the loop. So up to 3, from 0 to 3 it will print and then it will move out of the loop. And after that it will print end. So here 0, 1, 2, 3 is printed and then it is moved out of the loop and printed the end. So this is about the break keyword, how we can use in the loop. Now let's check the use of continue. So what continue does is, so wherever the continue is written, it will just move the control directly to here. It will not move the control out of the loop. It will not break the loop. It will just execute rest other statements. It will just move the control to this second line where the for loop starts. So let's check the output, how it will work. Let's check the code. So first I will be 0. So if 0 equals 4, no. So it will print 0 and up to 3 it will print. And then I will become 4. Then this condition will become true. So here continue statement will get executed and it will move the control to here. And then I will become 5. This condition will become false. Then it will print 5. So basically it will print from 0 to 6, but it will not print the value 4 because when I is 4, it will just move the control to line number 2 where the for loop is starting. So it will skip the print statement. Let's run this program. Here we can see 0, 1, 2, 3. So up to 3 it is printed. Then 4 is skipped because of continue statement. And then 5 and 6 is printed. And then end is printed. This is all about the break and continue keywords. Now let's check else condition. So we have else as well. How it works? So after the for loop, we have certain statements which are present in the for loop. And after those statements, we can write else. So for else will not work if loops break by break statement. Let's say if I comment this code, so this is just a comment. So what we have here is for I in range 7, print I, else, print else and print end. So let's run this program. So here we can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from 0 to 6, it gets printed. And after that, else is executed. Here we can see else and then end is executed. But if we use break statement in this for loop, then else will not get executed. Let's uncomment this code and we can write break statement here. Firstly, I will be 0. So up to 3, it will print 0, 1, 2, 3. And when I becomes 4, so this condition will become true and it will break the loop. So control will go out of the loop. So here we have else. Since we have used break statement, so therefore else will not work as it worked previously. So control will directly go to print statement, line number 8. So this is a part of this loop and else conditions. So let's run this program. So here we can see 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and when 4 is encountered, it breaks the loop and therefore else will not get printed and directly it prints the end. So now let's check about the nested loops. First I have for I in range, let's say I want to print 1, 2, 3. So I will write 1 comma 4. First let's try to print that. It will print 1, 2, 3. So here we can see it prints 1, 2 and 3. And if I write I equals to and then comma, so it will print I equals to string and then the variable, the value of variable I, which will be 1, then 2, then 3. So equals to 1, 2. Now let's say for nested loops, so nested loops are loop under the loop. So I will write one more loop. Let's say variable is j. So this variable should be different from this variable, otherwise it will get override. So I have used j here. So let's say I want to run this j from 1 to, let's say, 2. So I will write 3 because it runs n minus 1. So 1 and 2. And let's shift this print statement to under this for loop. And let's write the value of j as well. Or what we can do is, let's say, don't shift this statement. The output for this code is this one, and then I've written after print statement run for j as well. So let's print j equals to value of j. So how this code will work? So for firstly, so I will write I will become 1 because we have written the start value as 1. So it will print I equals to 1. Okay. Let's say output is, it will print I equals to 1. Then this is a multi-line comment as I have told earlier. So output is 1. Then it will run this for loop. So for j in range 1 to 3, that means it will run 1 and 2. So it will print 2 times j equals to 1, and then it will print j equals to 2. And then this loop will get completed and there is no further statement. So it will control will move to the first line. Now I will become 2. It will print I equals to 2. It will print I equals to 2. Now this loop will get started again and it will run from 1 to 2. So it will print 2 times. So j equals to 1 and then j equals to 2 because we are printing the value of j. And then there are no further statements, so this loop will get closed, and again we have no further statements, so control will go to I. Now I will become 3. So it will print I equals to 3, and then this loop will again got called and it will print the value of j as 1 and 2. I will copy this. It will print value of j as 1 and 2, and then control will go to here. Now since we have used the end limit as 4, so this loop is also completed and the control will go to here. Let's say we have added a print end statement. So this print end statement is out of both the loops. So it will print Let's check the output of this code. I will remove this. So here we can see first I is 1, then this loop will run. I mean the j will print for 1 and 2. So j equals to 1, j equals to 2. And after that I will become 2. So it prints I equals to 2, and then again this loop will run j equals to 1, j equals to 2. After that I will become 3. It will print I equals to 3 here, and then it will print j equals to 1, j equals to 2. After that it will check. Now there is a final limit as 4, so it will run up to 3, which it already ran. So now it will move out of the loop and it will print end. Here we can see end. So this is about the nested loop, that is loop under the loop. Now let's check the pass statement. So what pass does is it does nothing. Basically, it whenever we don't want to write any code under the loop or any function or any condition, we just write pass. So let's say for I in range, let's say I want to print 1, 2, 3. So I will write 4. So if I write pass here, and let's say print end. So let's run this program. So here we can see it just prints end. Now if we don't write this pass statement and keep it empty, let's say, and then run this program, it will say indentation error, expected an indent block after for statement on line 2. So basically it was expecting an indented block here or any code for this particular for loop, but there is no code. That's why it is giving us error. So if we write pass, it will execute pass, and pass does nothing. So it will just get executed. We have printed end here. So this is about the pass statement. Now we have already seen like let's say x equals to any string, let's say Shubhankar, which is my name. And if I want to print this string, I simply write print x. It prints the value of x, which is Shubhankar, as a string. What if I want to write this string, let's say character by character? So what I do, since we already know, so x of 0, so basically the variable x and its 0th index. So it will print s because the index starts from 0 till length. So it will print s. Then if I want to print x of 1, then it will print, sorry, it will print s then h. And if I print x of 2, it will print shu. And if I want to write whole name, I need to write these statements multiple times. But instead of that, what we can see here, we can see the value starts from 0, 1, 2 till the length minus 1. What we can do is we can write a for loop for I in range, and range will start from 0 automatically till length of string x. So let's say this is of 10 characters, so length of x will be 10, and range function will start from 0 to 9. Range length of x will be 10. So the range of x means it will start from 0 and ends with 10 minus 1, which is 9. 0 to 9, and which are our index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically I will represent our index. This is a comment, so Python interpreter will not consider this as code. It will ignore this line. So in the for loop, what I will write is a single print statement which will run from 0 to 9, and I will write x of, so instead of providing a hard code value like 0 or 1, I will use I, and I will remove these statements. So first it will print x of 0, then I will become 1, then it will print x of 1, then I will become 2, it will print x of 2, then x of 3, x of 4, up to x of 9. So let's run this program. So here we can see it prints the complete string character by character using the index, and we have used index with for loop using the method range. So this is how we can use the for loop to print the um, each and every character of a string using the index. Now another method is we can directly write for, let's say, we can use any variable name, we can use letter as well, but I will use I again, for I in x, which is a string variable, print I. So here we have used range method which will return 0 to 9 values, and I will be assigned from 0 to 9 values one by one. But here we have used directly the x variable which is of string type, and string type is also a kind of iterable which will iterate over each and every character. So for I in x, that means I will be assigned a value one by one. So first letter will be assigned to I. We will print directly the I, so it will print S. Then loop will go here, and I mean the control will go here. Then next value will be assigned to I from X. So next value is H. So I now becomes H. So it will print H. So I will comment this code. Let's say delete this code, and we can directly use this code. So let's run this code and we can see the output. So here again we can see it prints each and every letter one by one. So this is how we can iterate over the string. First method was iterating over the string by using index, and this method is iterating over the string directly by using for loop and iterating over each and every